when you look at television, you see these two cars, one black, one white.
We leave.
But they'd miss you.
I know it.
Well, I'll tell you a little story
All right.
about Ali that sets this all up, right?
Yeah.
In the fall of 1972, in September, October 1972, Oxford University in England was looking for a new professor of poetry. And so some radical students at Oxford were writing in they should get Muhammad Ali to be the professor of poetry at Oxford. Because Ali was doing poetry.
Yeah, yeah.
And people liked his poetry. And so I called him up on the phone out of the blue. I got the phone number of someone at the Daily News. And I had a stronger English accent than I have now. And I said about your poetry. And he changed completely. He said, come up in 2 days from now, 11 o'clock, I'll give you the instructions. You get the instructions right? You know, making sure I get that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I went there. I had no idea what was going to happen in this interview. I had no plans at all.
Where were you like at that point of your life?
I was a poet.
You were a poet?
Yeah, I was a poet. You see, I did a
Okay.
lot of interviews with poets,
Yeah.
but you couldn't sell them because no one buys interviews.
Yeah.
So I said, who is the most famous poet in America? And we thought Muhammad Ali. So anyway, I went up there. We sat down with some coffee and everything. He told us the whole story of how he started to write poetry. He quoted poems, this poem, that one. He went on and on. He quoted long poems. You know? And one of the reasons he gave the whole interview to me.
Yeah.
Other people were saying, but he didn't look at them. He gave the whole interview to me.
Yeah.
Because he could tell that I was excited to talk to him, and I was eager to understand what he's doing. I really wanted to know.
Yeah.
So I'm right there, you know, and we had a great connection. Right away.
Yeah.
He then kept me there for 7 more hours. Gone on a bus ride, watching his fights on the video.
Yeah.
So amazing.
Yeah.
So he gave me an 8-hour interview. You know.
And he probably talked about like everything on his mind, from poetry to...
Yeah. But the main thing he said to us, he said, you can come up here anytime until I go to Africa to fight Foreman, which is going to be in 74. This is in November of 72.
He was in that mindset when he was preparing for most probably his most important fight up until then.
But the thing is, everybody thought he was going to lose, including the people he worked with. They thought he was going to lose.
Okay.
Everyone was very frightened he would get killed. Except I believed he would win.
Even like his cornerman, I think his name is Bondini.
Yeah, they all thought he was going.
He thought he was going to lose.
They were frightened he was going to get really badly hurt. He had a good reason to be fearful, but they didn't know Ali had made a plan, and he didn't tell anyone.
Okay.
The rope-a-dope thing, beating on the rope, make
yeah.
it seem like you're tired, and then you come forward. See, he was a brilliant fighter, and he was brilliant mentally as well as physically, you know.
Yeah, to be honest, he was in another level in that area. I mean,
right.
like not just I'm gonna counter him with this punch or this punch. No, he was literally acting in the ring.
He watched a lot of tapes of Foreman's fights,
Yeah.
and he figured out the only way I can beat him is to make him tired. Foreman never fought more than 3 rounds. He liked to talk because it's easy for him to get bored at the training camp. He likes them, but he doesn't really have much to say to them.
Yeah.
And he really enjoyed talking to me. Now, at the end of the thing, he says, I want you to be my spokesman for the white long hairs in the colleges. I'll be Muhammad Ali's spokesman. And I was very touched he asked me that.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do that because I had a job in my own partnership writing. I couldn't take.
I mean, didn't Ali have enough money to cover that?
Well, no, but he was very intelligent. He realized that you can't just buy someone to make you. You have to get someone like me to spread your word. And I did, because I published 5 or 6 interviews with him. But mainly, the biggest moment I had with Ali about interviews was that in 1974, before my book was published, Penthouse magazine, which is a very, very big magazine, 6 million people read it or something.
Yeah.
They published my interview with Muhammad Ali, a big major interview, right? But when I went to see him, so I think it was one of the last times I saw him when he was at the camp, they brought me over to him, and he said, thank you. It's the only time my words have ever been printed as I said them. It was a great compliment to me, but also a sad comment on his own situation.
Why was it that no one had published his words as they were up to that time when he had that much power in the world?
the media in America wanted to keep Ali in the box of being a boxer, nothing else.
Yeah.
Not anti-war,
Yeah.
not making comments on the culture,
Yeah.
being a boxer. He talked anti-war, they didn't want to hear that, so they didn't put it in.
There were also figures such as, Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X in that time period, who were able to get their word out and who were able to impact so much people. But Muhammad Ali, with all his influence, how much people loved him.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been, I can't think of a person who was as loved as Muhammad Ali in that time period, except people like maybe Michael Jackson.
Also, you see, being black, even though he declared himself, I can do what I want, I can be who I want, not who you want me to be. They still tried to keep him the way they wanted him to be. And I think it's amazing that he kept so focused and keep himself balanced. His religion was his strength in many ways, but unfortunately, his religious leader was stealing his money all the time. It was absolutely horrible what they did to him. They even made him lose his voice. You see, every time he fought, Elijah Muhammad's son would get 50% of the money off the top before paying taxes, before paying expenses.
Yeah.
Ali would have to pay all the taxes on all the money. He didn't understand what was being done to him, but sometimes he had a very small amount of money in the bank.
Maybe he didn't understand money, he didn't understand the idea of it. There's two aspects of that. First of all, he was a kind person. At the end of the day, he believed in Elijah Muhammad and he thought he was doing good, so he put his money towards that. There's also the fact of how was Elijah Muhammad able to gain that much power to the level of where even Muhammad Ali wouldn't be able to tell what he was doing.
Well, that's a good question. I think I have a good answer for it. When Muhammad Ali stopped boxing because of the draft thing, first Elijah Muhammad praised him. He's not fighting. He's a serious man, you know. And then one time Ali was on a television show. He said he would like to fight again someday.
Yeah.
Elijah Muhammad summoned him and his wife to Chicago. We had to sit in front of a panel of people who condemned him for saying this. Even though they took all his money when he boxed.
Yeah.
They were condemning him, saying he wanted to box. As soon as he got boxing, the manager rushed back in and got his money. You know, it was pure hypocrisy.
He always repeatedly talked about the World Lecture Tour.
Oh, the war. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. That's right. See, because after the Fraser fight in Manila in '75, he would go around the world lecturing.
Yeah.
But then when it happened, they said, "Oh, you have to fight again.
Yeah.
You don't have any money," because they didn't give him any money. So he was stuck. It was very sad because he said to me many times between '72 and he said to me, "I'm going to go on lecture tour in '75. I'm so excited."
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen, and then he stopped talking about it. But no one really speaks about this very much.
Yeah.
But the black Muslims are horrible, horrible, horrible to Muhammad Ali. They ruined his career. And they took away his voice. He can't talk anymore. His voice was his great weapon. After the fighting, then the voice. No voice, no lecture tour. No, he couldn't do it.
I mean, the world's most famous man doesn't even have enough money that he had to continue fighting.
It's very, very bad. People like Angelo Dundee as manager, they would say, you're not sounding so good. No, it's all right. And what could they do?
Exactly.
And they couldn't fight against these black guys. It was unfortunate, and particularly with Ali, because Ali always said, "I am the one black man who's going to get out clean with my money. I'll be fine."
Yep.
Not the case.
Okay. So what was going on with his kids at that time? How were they able to be supported throughout all that?
Well, okay. He did have several trust funds for his kids.
Yes.
So he would not stop those funds. They would stay for the kids, right?
Away from Elijah Muhammad and all the external factors that really pushed him to, I guess, the worst areas of his life. How was he as a person when you were just in the camp? Did you tape what he said or?
Yeah, I tape recorded him.
Tape record. When you were tape recording your conversations with him going around the camp, how was he as a person? Because something that really stood out to me in the book was when Anthony, the guy who spoke Yugoslavian, when his camera broke,
Yes.
then Muhammad Ali came back to him and he said something, I don't remember what he said exactly.
Yeah.
But it was something along the lines of, your camera is so cheap.
I want to talk to you for a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah,
I like your style.
Yeah.
The camera's so cheap. I want to talk to you for a while.
Yeah.
He made that up. No, the thing about Ali was that he was always Muhammad Ali.
Mm.
And at the camp he was the leader. They had to always be proud. He had to always keep up his appearance. I once interviewed him at 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah.
He's lying on his bed.
Yeah.
2:00 in the morning. He's still Muhammad Ali. He would be nice and friendly, but there was never any real friendship. It was just like, he knows you're going to print this. He's going to give it to you.
In how much of his days did he spend just talking?
Well, look, people who are good at talking love to talk. That guy playing an instrument or
Yeah.
singing.
Yeah.
You sing all the time because you like to sing. But there weren't that many people who could receive him. An interview is about receiving what the person gives you and giving them back a positive response. Just, I was very interested in what he said.
Yeah, this is a special book. Going back to that idea of, was he an intelligent person? What did you think of him, like throughout all the years you spent with him?
I think that Ali was, in his subject matter, he's very bright. For example, he immediately recognized the Warhol portrait was an excellent portrait of him. He could see it was. That's an intelligent view of the portrait.
Yeah.
He's not just saying that to be nice.
Yeah.
I sort of grew up with black and white films.
The Malcolm X is the...
The only thing that makes Muhammad Ali stand out in the world was he was one of the greatest heavyweight champions of all time. Some say the best. But he was in the top 3.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
Yeah.
That's what he worked out all his life since he was 12. Now, he said this to me. He recognized that it gave him the chance to talk to the world.
Yeah.
Because after the fight, people come on the microphone. And he always would say, "Love to all my brothers and sisters all over the world." He'd say something, and I forget the phrase he would use, but he would say it. They would ignore their questions. He would talk to them, and that takes a lot of guts and intelligence to do that. I think that he was a very sincere and real person. When I was with him, I was totally comfortable in being with a sharp guy. He lived largely in the world of athletics, where there's not a lot of intelligent talk. It's more talk about what kind of gloves do you need to wear this fight. The favorite photographs of him taken in his whole life, one of his favorite pictures. One of the pictures was him reading the book, holding it up so you could see the cover of the book, and looking at it with a wonderful expression on his face.
Yeah.
With his wife, too, together.
Yeah.
That's a huge endorsement of my book.
What happened after you released that book? The records in the book and the time of release, there was like a 25-year difference. I mean, you released it in like 1999?
Oh, no. The book was originally published in 1974.
But not when people got the hardcover.
Right. I showed you the book.
Yeah, I have a copy with me.
Okay, that book, what happened is this publisher
Yeah.
had not paid his printer
Yeah.
for 3 books in a row.
Yeah.
They destroyed the book.
Yeah.
They shredded the book.
Yeah.
There were only like maybe 2,000 copies of the book got out.
This is my copy.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
new edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now let me show you the original edition.
All right.
That's the original.
Wow. Oh, the pictures were
different.
They're so they're so different.
The book cost $1.25.
This cost me about $6.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is, it would have been very successful, but if they took, because it was published the day after he won the fight with Foreman. It was on the shops.
Oh, okay.
So it would have sold a lot. But unfortunately it didn't. It was very sad. My first book, I loved the book, A nice new copy. It's very beautiful, the red cover and the picture on the front. I gave Ali 200 copies of this. I never told her it was shredded. I got a couple of reviews, a couple of good reviews. Yeah, that's all we can do right now. I've got to get back to work.
That's fine.
Okay, cool. Right.
Very
Good
nice
to talk to you.
seeing
Come again another time.
Yeah, I will.
This is generally a good time to come.